Hi everybody, Kevin here. Welcome to the Claremont Classic Garage. Today we've got everything prepared and we're going to have a go at installing our quarter panels on our poor old Dodge Caliber. So let's get started. We've got both of them brush primed with rust primer on the inside so they stay safe for as long as possible. Same thing with the car. Everything's got a good coat of primer on it. What we're going to do when I put it on, I'm going to cheat a little bit across our panel. And on here, I'm going to drill 4 holes. And I'm going to use, just to hold it on so I can weld it, I'm going to use 4 little countersunk 1/8 rivets. That'll keep these panels, because I can't really get at the back of this to hold it, right? And same thing along here. I'm going to use big 3/16 race car rivets, 1, 2, 3 across there, and then we'll tack the edge of it. And then the rest of it will be mostly welded. It'll be all welded, I guess. We'll plug weld down here. We'll plug weld up around there. And we'll tack weld down here and across there. Then it should be on solid. I'm just waiting for this paint to set up a little bit. And then I got to go around and clean the paint out of these holes where we're going to be plug welding. Clean this edge off where we're going to be tack welding. And then I'll fit it onto the car. And I'll mark on this primer where all our plug welds are going to be. And I'll just clean off the primer. I don't want to take all the primer off, that's for sure. So I'm going to get started on that now. First thing we're going to do is drill our few holes for our rivets. Okay, so we've got our 4 little rivet holes drilled and I countersunk them. Now you can see the importance of being really careful, because this panel actually does have a bit of an arc to it. And if you just go willy-nilly and start pushing it in here, you see that? You push on it and do your first weld and it flattens it out. And it stays like that. And then you end up having to put Bondo 3/8 of an inch thick in the middle here to get the arc back. So you got to be really careful. You just got to be nice and gentle with it. And now I'm going to go ahead and drill the 3 holes in this bottom flange here. These down here will be 3/16 rivets, so we're going to drill 13/64, which gives them just a little bit of clearance. I'm going to fit the panel to the car now and mark all the places that I have to drill holes or grind away primer. Then we'll be darn near close to putting this thing on. Well, I'd say that's as close as dang it is to swearing, wouldn't you? I've taken the paint off all the places where we need to weld. I've drilled all our holes that we need to drill. And I went around our panel with a step bit and just took the paint out of all the holes where we're going to plug weld. So now, it is time. We're going to put this thing on, and in this time, it's staying on. Step 1 will be the 4 rivets across the top edge. It's time to spark up the welder. So how we're going to do this is you just move around. One here, one there. You don't put too many in any one spot. That's how you get the heat concentrated, and you'll actually start to warp panels. And we don't want to do that. A few precautions also before we start. Make sure if you're going to do something like this, you have on hand. If you're outside, of course, a garden hose is the best bet. But I keep a watering jug full of water, a fire extinguisher, and this. You can put out a small little flame with an air blower. Don't try and put out a big flame with the air blower, because you'll just spread it around. It takes a little practice of knowing when the air blower is the right tool. You can also use this to gently cool down an area you've just welded, right? So we have all those things on standby, and you're also going to need an old screwdriver, because a spot like this, see that? You just give it a push before you weld it. Oh, my phone's ringing. Hang on. The welding is mostly done now. I'm going to go and start grinding down my ugly welds. And then we'll see if some of them need to be touched up when we're done. We'll get the welder back going and touch them up. So let me start grinding. I'm done welding all around, and I've dressed down the welds with an angle grinder. You just want to run your finger along it and knock down anything you feel really sticking up a lot. Like I've got one right there that's probably going to be a problem. You don't want to take the whole weld off. You just want to make sure that it's not going to poke through the Bondo once you start sanding it. Now, it's not the end of the world if it does, because you can just get in there with the edge of the grinder and kind of knock it down through the Bondo and carry on with your next coat. This is not an exact science for me. I'm a mechanic, not a body man. But anyway, I think that went pretty well. Now I'm going to go ahead and brush prime everything with the rust primer. I like that. That's perfect. It's on there good and solid. We'll let that primer get good and dry, and then we'll start filling. We only really have to fill across here and down the door jamb. This here under the wheel lip, I'm just going to double check if I see any pits or anything in the welds. I'll make sure I squeeze a little sealer into that. We're going to put sealer along this seam here and sealer down the back, just like the factory did. And then this side will be done. Now we can have a go at this side. Even though it smells really good, I love the smell of Bondo. Looks like it's gotten water in it and got froze. So this one can go to the hazardous waste. Well, I'm not doing so well. Here's what happens when you leave your hardener inside your can of Bondo and it leaks. This one can go to the hazardous waste. Well, we're down to our last one. Let's see what we got in here. I can work with this. So we're going to mix up a little bit of plastic. And for our first coat, we just like to just kind of get it in there. We're not trying to really fill anything. We're just trying to get it pushed into the void here. And we'll do down here. And just get that first coat in so it's nice and light and it bites good. I got this old spreader. It's probably older than time. It probably used to be about this wide, and I keep cutting bits of it off to make special ones. This one here, I've put a little radius on. It'll just make it easier when we go down there. That's all that's for it. And then this guy, of course, will be for the lateral seam. So I'm going to go ahead and mix this stuff up. First coat of plastic. Perfect. Well, I'd say so far this job is going pretty darn good. I'm quite happy with this. Alright, so I guess that's it for today. Our panels are on and tack welded, and we've dressed all the welds down with the grinder. So it's ready to finish. So we'll get plastic filler and sealer and primer and paint. That'll be the next episode. I've had enough for now. It's been a long day. Anyway, I guess that's it for now. So until next time, thanks for tuning in. And this is Kevin checking out from the Claremont Classic Garage. So long.